One aspect of social self-engagement practices, especially marathons, that makes it so indescribably powerful and so profoundly rewarding to work with is that it does so many different things simultaneously. Okay? In the process of practicing any style of social self-engagement practices, which is one of the many things that I offer through my services and content creations, it's a way of nourishing internal attachment systems, nourishing internal needs, resculpting unconscious memories without directly working with existing data, etc. And they're really, really fun, gentle, loving, empowering practices that can be easily integrated into everyday life or practice for just, 15, 20 minutes here or there throughout the day, and can really be easily integrated into everyday life, no matter what your life really looks like, no matter who you are or where you're at or what everyday experiences might look like. These practices are very easy to integrate and utilize and harness, and they're really, really powerful and enjoyable. But one reason that I am so passionate about them and I enjoy practicing them in my own personal journey and enjoy teaching and serving as a guide through so passionately for those who are inspired to connect with me, social self-engagement practices, especially marathons, do so many different things simultaneously. They are helping to integrate brain hemispheres and the various types of brain lobes and brain regions. They're assisting in increasing mind-body connection and the connectivity between the forebrain and the hindbrain. They're increasing regulation throughout all different systems, including respiration, digestion, nervous systems, everything. They are healing and improving functionality of cranial nerves and integrating the unconscious procedural memory data that links worlds between the navigational patterns of the body mind and the regulatory protocols of the body. And so the way that facial muscles, for example, move is directly linked with instinctive styles of patterns of emotions and movement, and it's a place where the regulation of the actual brain-body systems links up with all the unconscious memories that affect the way that we feel and the way that we move. And so there's all these different systems, and they're actually improving and uplifting the content stored within them and expanding and increasing the connectivity throughout all those different regions of data. So cranial nerves are improving their functionality. Digestion, respiration, all the different nervous systems, brainwave regulation increases because there's aspects of meditation basically, but in a really fun, enjoyable way. And so you're amplifying the mohawk of self-awareness. You're increasing prefrontal cortex engagement. You're amplifying the ability for conscious presence, which can carry into other aspects of life, like making conscious choices and things like that. And choosing to not eat that dessert that's on the counter that you really want, for example. And so all these different systems are improving. And then you're also actually working with navigational patterns that have been created from your entire life. And so you're working with data from childhood, you're working with data from teenagehood, you're working with data from adulthood, you're working with data from moments of like deep intimacy with your own self, with family members when you were little, with other peers and people when you were growing up, with potential like other relationships with other people, but without looking at any of the experiences, just working with the data that exists now as navigational patterns. And so it's doing so many different things simultaneously. And so you're resculpting all these regulatory protocols. You're expanding connection throughout all of these systems. You're working with memory data from your entire life without looking at the memories, without looking at the experiences. And in that process, you're working directly with every part of yourself. The parts of the self who are in the right and left brain hemisphere. The parts of the self who are in the forebrain and the hindbrain. The parts of the self who are in the mind and in the body. The parts of the self self who are affected by the heart rate variability and respiration and digestion beyond awareness. The parts of the self who are affected by the connectivity and well-being of these nervous systems that affects sensory processing and a million other different things. You are directly working with these childhood self aspects from original stages of neurodevelopment and attachment development. You are directly working with all these aspects from teenagehood, even without looking at those memories or past experiences. You're resculpting the navigational patterns existing now and the parts of the self who are flowing through that present existing data. And so it's amazing because when you do these social self-engagement practices, you're doing all of it simultaneously, so you're getting a lot more accomplished than you would through certain other styles that have a more limited and specific focus of what you're actually working with in the body-mind systems. And you don't have to work with any of the systems directly because you're going to the one space that links all of them. Attachment systems. The connectivity throughout all of these different systems, the information and connectivity of all the navigation, the well-being of all the regulatory stations are all dependent on the well-being of attachment systems, which have been sculpted through experiences of social engagement with other people. And so now we're practicing social self-engagement, nourishing internal attachments from within. And these practices are fun and simple and easy and enjoyable. And marathons are mind-blowing, and you can just play with, simple stuff, or you can go into like the advanced unveiling multi-month marathon journey and dive deeper than ever before. There's lots of options to meet you where you're at. But they accomplish so much simultaneously, so you're getting a lot more out of it. You're putting in a certain amount of time and energy invested in this practice, right? And you're getting a whole bunch of stuff from that investment. But you don't have to work directly with these systems. You don't have to be like, oh man, there's this region of my left and right brains that like aren't connecting. Or like, oh man, there's this region of data from age 7 and age 12 and age 17, and that's not connected with like the systems that are navigating my present day reality. Like, you don't have to work with any of the systems, but all of them are improved beyond anything you can imagine. Like, I've worked directly with each system. I've done mirror practices created by other people to connect brain hemispheres, for example. I've done the work where you work directly with specific experiences and try to resolve those specific memories. Like, I've done all that. And the progress was slow and tedious, and the work was not fun and not enjoyable, and it took a long time to see results in that one area, and it only kind of improved. But with social self-engagement practices, especially marathons, all of these systems that I mentioned, all the navigational patterns and trillions of complex networks in every role of the neurobiological social engagement system, and the explicit and implicit memory pieces from every year of life, from every period of your entire human experience, and all the different systems of brain-body regulation, all these different systems, all of it gets totally resculpted, where you notice the change quickly and easily. You notice your brain hemisphere is more connected and flowing more effectively. You notice greater balance in these systems. You notice increased regulation in your circadian rhythms, your hormones, your neurotransmitters, your heart rate variability, your mind-body connection. You notice deeper unity of navigational patterns that are positively affecting the way you think and feel and move. You notice a deeper connection with parts of yourself in a way that you haven't experienced before. And so there's so much happening simultaneously, and you don't have to work with any one system because you're working with the foundation of all systems simultaneously, and that is attachments. Attachment systems, the well-being of specific internal needs of attachment systems is what determines all of this stuff, because it's how it originally was sculpted into being. And so social self-engagement practices, especially marathons, accomplish so much simultaneously, so you're getting a lot more out of the investment. And that journey is fun and effortless and enjoyable and simple and rewarding every step of the way. And you don't have to work with just one system specifically. And so that's good, because if you want to like improve all this stuff, but you're like, wow, like going to do some hour-long exercise where I'm manually regulating my nervous system sounds really unfun. And then I'm like not looking at all these other aspects of my life. Or if you're like, okay, I'm going to go spend like this hour-long session to like work with this one memory when I have like 5,000 other memories that could also be, use some transforming, but I really don't want to look at them because I want to live here, not back there. You don't have to work with any of the systems directly, but all of them get resculpted 1 billion times. And I'm not exaggerating. Maybe a little. No, I'm not exaggerating at all. 1 billion times more effectively than if you try to work directly with these systems. And the journey is so much more fun, so much more enjoyable, so much more rewarding in the process of it, that you are inspired to want to show up for it. So you get way more transformative results in a way more enjoyable way, way quicker and easier and more effectively and more enjoyably throughout more systems simultaneously than you could find out of like hundreds of other potential avenues of healing. We're working directly with the foundation of the body-mind. Social self-engagement practices, especially marathons, are a game changer. They're literally a brain incubator. A past version of me, my inner best friend, mentioned this, was like, what if you could just like make a brain incubator? Like I have so much stuff I need to heal. And I don't want to focus just on healing. I want to focus on life, I want to focus on the joy of being alive. I want to focus on the feeling of the breeze flowing past my skin when I'm out on a bike ride or something. I want to focus on life. My focus every day shouldn't be like, oh man, I have so much stuff to heal, right? But if you do have so much stuff to heal, how can you like heal it all but still be like focused on life and love and living and having connection with yourself and having connection with joy and love and peace and ease and well-being in the fullness of the moment, while rewriting trillions of networks, resculpting hundreds of different regulatory stations in the brain and the body, literally rebuilding your entire body-mind system from the ground up, completely redoing how decades of experience have affected the state of your implicit health here and now. But you get to do it in a way that's super fun and super light and super easy. And that's what these social self-engagement practices, especially marathons, because I love marathons the most, but there are other ways of practicing social self-engagement that don't include marathons. Marathons are the most mind-blowing, right? My journey with marathons is the most mind-blowing. But these social self-engagement practices do so much. They're a brain incubator. You stick your brain into a social self-engagement practice, and then this little timer goes for, maybe 5 minutes you're practicing or whatever it might be. And then ding, the brain incubator is done. You've spent 5 minutes practicing social self-engagement. And now, boom, there's like 100 new connections and everything's healing quickly and easily. And you're just hanging out and having fun. And I am the living proof of that. And I'm the living proof of it. It's just every single day I'm amazed at how deeply my brain is healed, and it's been exclusively from these social self-engagement practices. There hasn't been anything else. No other modalities. I haven't worked with any other human beings on any of the stuff of my healing journey at all. At any point of my implicit revelations case study, it's been me, myself, and I practicing social self-engagement and creating these concepts. All of the healing that I've been able to cultivate, all of the loving liberation, all of the reconnection with parts of the self, all of the transmutation of this energetic data throughout hundreds of trillions of complex networks, carrying a lifetime of unconscious memories where the body-mind has remembered every pattern of feeling and movement from its entire existence. All of these systems that help us breathe and eat and smell and see and sleep and think and feel, all of it completely resculpted. completely rebuilt from the ground up exclusively through social self-engagement practices, especially marathons. And so I offer social self-engagement practices through a wide variety of content creations that you can journey through on your own, at your own time, in your own pace, in your own way. And I also offer social self-engagement practices through various different journeys, through personalized sessions with me. And that could be a one-time journey or a multi-month personalized pathway. And so if this speaks to you, you can explore more of my free content to really explore my journey, my implicit revelations case study, different aspects of the insights that I provide about understanding and healing body minds, liberating and expanding consciousness, transmuting and transforming the systems of navigation and regulation, rewriting unconscious memories intentionally, but without working with existing data or past experiences, all this different stuff, and free introductory playbooks for every one of my offerings. They are so amazing, so much fun, so enjoyable, and so transformative. And with each of the journeys, whether it's through a self-guided loving liberation launchpad or a one-on-one personalized sacred soul session connecting with me directly, the intention is not just to have something right here, right now, like, okay, I'm going to, understand this one thing and practice this for a few days. Every single one is designed as a quantum catalyst, which means that your experience with it is going to leap you into that next level of healing, restoration, transcendent transformation, inner power reclamation, and loving liberation. And in the process, teach you concepts, insights, techniques, practices, methods, and modalities that you can actually use in the weeks and months and years to come. And so you're gaining stuff to understand and transform and evolve and uplift your experience with whatever you're going through, but you're also gaining the activation of your own inner power to do that continuously moving forward on your own, using everything that you're learning through these concepts. And so, 5 weeks, 5 months, 5 years from now, you'll still be benefiting from all the stuff you've been doing, and you'll still have access to all those insights and tools if you ever need them in the future. And so it's a quantum leap into understanding and shapeshifting and transforming and evolving everything going on now. And then you use that in the weeks and the months, maybe years to come. And then later on down the road, all that inner play that you've been doing has impacted your existence from the inside out. And so you'll be reaping these rewards long after you practice these concepts. And then in the future, you'll still have these insights and concepts and techniques if they can benefit you down the road moving forward to further reunify parts of the self and improve the well-being of implicit health in the body mind. And so they're just magical and amazing and life-changing and fun and playful and enjoyable, and they're just really extraordinary. And so there's content creations everywhere from just like one small simple inner child liberation marathon journey to like 5-year complex rewrite your whole body mind program sort of deal. So there's lots of different options to meet you where you're at with how much you want to invest in your own transformation and liberation, time, energy wise. And then same with the Sacred Soul sessions. There's, just like a one-time 30-minute call, and we can simply explore a practice you can just like use here and now, or you can dive a lot deeper and do a multi-month marathon journey. And then there's lots of offerings in between as well. Social soul self is a way to practice social self-engagement through inward journeys of imagination. And that can be practiced like just when you're like resting or chilling or whatever. And so if you don't like marathons, getting up close and personal with eye contact with your own self. Sorry, little scratches on my nose. Focus on my eyes. Not my nose. Or if you don't want to necessarily do social self-engagement practices in everyday life, like in the little moments like when you're eating or unloading a dishwasher or something, if you want to have it be more of an inward journey through imagination and visualization and activation and almost a self-hypnosis meditative type journey, that is also a very, very powerful opportunity. And all of these are concepts that I've been developing and utilizing in my own journey for the past 5 years, completely changed my life in the most profound way. And then I've been sharing them in my business, and I'm very excited and passionate about it. So you can explore all my offerings if this speaks to you. And I look forward to connecting with you either in another video here or through my own personal work. And you can find out all the information about each of the offerings and how to connect with me through email to receive them. So, all right, that's all. Social self-engagement. They work with so many different systems simultaneously, effectively resculpting all of them without having to work with just one system. And so a lot more is happening, and it's a lot more fun, easier, and simpler. And the transformation is unparalleled. It's remarkable beyond anything I can describe. It's the greatest investment of a lifetime. It's the greatest journey of a lifetime. And it is the most rewarding experience of a lifetime, because you maybe show up for other healing journey things, whether it's, a 5-minute meditation or an hour session with, a counselor, whatever it might be. And maybe in that time or in the hours following, you don't feel a sense of like, wow, this is amazing! Like, I feel deeper in connection with me, and I can experience the beauty of life more, and these things that were disrupting my life are now actually being reduced. Those struggles that I had are actually starting to be resolved permanently. I feel it, I can sense it, I can sense that shift, and these things that I've been wanting to expand into, the ability to feel this way or to move this way or to have these habits or to have this potential or to feel this sort of connection with myself or to feel this sort of connection with life. Like, I'm starting to feel that, like, wow, I really enjoy showing up for this. Like, I really enjoy being here. I really enjoy this experience. Like, if you're not feeling that in your pathway on the healing journey of loving liberation, then it's time to choose a pathway that can offer that. And that's exactly the intention for my work, is to be able to feel that way along your journey. To be able to be like, wow, I showed up today and it felt good. I got to connect with that person who gets to guide me through what I'm going through, and it felt good. I got to learn this practice and go practice it, and it felt good. And I've been doing these practices for a few days, a few weeks, a few months now, and I'm noticing the change in my life from the inside out. I'm actually seeing results of my brain working differently. I'm actually seeing results of my body, mind navigating life differently. I'm actually seeing results of deeper connection with myself. I'm actually seeing these tangible, rewarding results, and it has been fun on the journey to experiencing the fullness of my intentions fulfilled. And it happens quickly and easily. You don't have to spend years and years and years and years and years reconstructing your brain. It can happen quickly and easily, and it gets to be fun and rewarding every step of the process. And that is one of a million different reasons that I am so passionate about the work I do. So please feel free to explore my other free gifts, free libraries, free downloads, and each of my offerings if you want to dive deeper. I love you. Okay, bye.